òun dẹ̀ ti wà ní Ghana for some time ó ṣẹ̀dé padà ní so fẹ́ ká ríra ká there's a lot that we want to talk about. So Jeremy Anthony, I mean, don't believe all this party on conservative view. I want to ká fi sílẹ̀ kí a má tún lọ máa promote ó ti promote rẹ̀ anyway. Sister mi Yorùbá wíwá dẹ̀ ti gbà sí fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ti gbọ́ nìyẹn. Let's come back to this work pay. How do we make work pay? Báwo la ṣe máa jẹ́ kí mo fẹ́ wá Yorùbá work iṣẹ́ pay kó ní àlùbáríkà. Ẹ mọ̀ pé tá bá já ní Ọlọ́run já alálùbáríkà. Ǹjẹ́ mo kò ṣe pé èpè ǹjẹ́ àrùn àlùbáríkà nínú iṣẹ́ tàǹtẹ̀ iṣẹ́ Nàìjíríà ní ṣíṣà. Whatever job you're, ẹ má bínú ẹ tẹ́ wà níbí báyìí call ló wọlé ni ló disconnected mo apologize. Kí iṣẹ́ lérè ẹ ṣe gan ni ẹ̀yin náà máa bá ń kọ́ ní Yorùbá tí ìbá tẹ̀ ká dáadáa èrè iṣẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ pé a máa ń gbàdúrà pé Ọlọ́run jẹ́ àjèrè iṣẹ́ tá à ń ṣe. Ǹjẹ́ a lè sọ nísìnyí ní Nàìjíríà pé à ń jèrè iṣẹ́ tá à ń ṣe whatever job it is. I'm not talking about high profile jobs be politician because àwọn high profile job ni wọ́n everybody wants to be a politician because they know that there is something in it for them. So my people, I don't know whether to beg you. We are not saying we should carry gun and go out there and start killing. We don't even have the guns. I'm not telling you let us go out and burn down. I know my utterances is very, very, and that's the way I see it. Because that's the only way I believe that we can shut down this messed up country. But if you don't want us to go through that route, can we put pressure on our politicians to make iṣẹ́ lérè fún wa work pay? Because how is iṣẹ́ máa ṣe lérè? They must provide the enabling environment. Many of you wants to work. You guys are not lazy. And you are lazy and sisters are lazy. But ẹni tó bá wá ní difficulties, bóyá ó sick, ó rẹ̀, ẹ̀gbẹ́ ń dùn, ó lóyún, ẹ ti gbà sí fúnra yín, ẹ ti ṣe kíbọ̀rọ̀kì, normal ni, wọ́n ṣe níbí báyìí náà. Àwọn kéékèèké, àwọn ọmọ 16, but má kọ̀ bọ́ ọmọ kéékèèké ṣe ni. Fidophile ló máa pè é. And I'm not joking. Tá bá fẹ́ jẹ́ kí iṣẹ́ lérè, kí ni ìjọba Sanwó-Olú máa ṣe? What is Dapo Abiodun going to do? What is Yaya Bello going to do? What is Abdul Fattah going to do in Kwara? What is Oyebanji going to do in Ekiti? Akeredolu is going very soon in terms of his government. Rather than focus on kíṣẹ́ lérè, ó ń jà pé kí deputy ẹ̀ kó má bàa take over. Ṣé ó ń hide nǹkan kan nínú government house ni? Why not let the deputy take over? Ṣebẹ́jọ́ ṣiṣẹ́ papọ̀ náà ni ṣebẹ́jọ́ ẹ̀yin lẹ́jọ́ wá polongo fún àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá náà Ondo State pé ẹ fẹ́ kí iṣẹ́ kó lérè. I saw Akeredolu around 2017, the governor. I asked him, what is going to make us come back and come and stay in Ondo State? He said the environment is nice, the place is good, and it is very beautiful. The few days I spent in Ondo State, oh my God, I love it. Elizade Motors, Kolon Leki Baba and Kolon Lore mi Baba. Nígbà tí mo délé, he had a golf course. Níbẹ̀ ló ti máa ń ṣe the auto rally tí mo lọ bá wọn ṣe yẹn. Do you know that I can just be promoting that auto rally and make money every year? Do you know that some people, they make their money in just one block for the year? How many people knows that? Gbogbo àwọn promoter àtẹ̀yìn tó ń ṣe artist nǹkan kan yẹn, they make their money in one block. Because if I bring the video into this country now, I will get a percentage, 1%. That covers my year income. And I will just look for another one and prepare. I can do the same thing. But the nature of what we are doing is different from what everybody is doing. But how do you make work pay in Oyo State, in Osun State, Adeleke? We want them to make the enabling environment so that iṣẹ́ lè lérè. Èmi mọ̀ jàǹkárá dáadáa. In the 80s, when my mom was supplying wristwatch to them, iṣẹ́ yẹn lérè. Ìyẹn la ṣe sọ pé àwọn ìyá yẹn iṣẹ́ yẹn lérè lọ fi rán àwọn ọmọ lọ sí school. Because tó bá lérè, most of us will not be graduated today. I mean, apart from some of us that came out or come out from affluence environment, and I am one of them. I came out from an affluence house Mo nshoma tapa dirara. But not everybody has that opportunity. Ó depend bí tí mommy ẹ àbí daddy ẹ tó bá ṣe darí sí, because baba tèmi was a businessman. Ìyá tèmi fúnra rẹ̀ businesswoman. Ó dẹ̀ pàdé ara wọn, wọ́n produce èmi jáde. So, iṣẹ́ táwọn méjèèjì wá ń ṣe ó lérè. But today, the country is dragging us backwards. Kò jẹ́ kí a jẹ́ kí iṣẹ́ kó lérè. Look, ṣé mọ̀ pé àwọn ẹ má bínú ẹ̀yin aráàlú òkè. We will call you the same as àwọn Pakistan tó ń tajà nílùú yìí. Wóróbo tẹ máa ń tà yẹn. O iṣẹ́ tó lérè ni. But àwọn ìyá tiwa níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn, àwọn ò fẹ́ ta wóróbo because they see it as ta ló máa jókòó máa ta safety pin. But àwọn tó ń ta safety pin yẹn owó burúkú wà lọ́wọ́ wọn. Lẹ́ni nísìn, ǹjẹ́ iṣẹ́ yẹn lérè mọ́? Because a tẹ̀lé ra safety pin yẹn bá ṣe ń ra tẹ́lẹ̀ because dollar ti di 1 to 1,000 naira. As at that time, iṣẹ́ yẹn lérè because people were able to use the little naira to change to dollar and bring in this worobo safety pin, Ishana. Whereas people like our own parents were selling lace. Lace la wọ́n tà ní gọ́tà. Àwọn tà lace ni. Because lace yẹn, ẹ máa gẹ́ṣọ̀. Because I mean, they're still doing party now. But èmi gbọ́ tí mo sì ń sọ fún mi pé bàbá mi máa ń bi àwọn ìyàwó ẹ̀ pé lóde tẹ́ ń lọ ni. Ṣé ní party kankan ní weekend yìí? Okay. Raṣọ. Adé ya paper fún wọn. Papa. Because ó fẹ́ kọ́ ní life, kọ́ enjoy life fún wọn. Ṣé iṣẹ́ lérè ìmọ̀lẹ́ ní ṣá? Even ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní bank, ẹ̀yin sisters wa, wọ́n á ní kẹ́ lọ lé target. You must come with a target. Iṣẹ́ bank ló burú jù fáwọn obìnrin. Wọ́n ti gbé di wọn gbóná páì. Wọ́n wá máa wá àwọn ọmọ yahoo nísìn tó lè transfer millions of naira. Kóun náà lè meet target ẹ̀. Mo kẹ́yìn tẹ́ wà lórí Mixlr, Comrade Plan B. And this is why we are saying that if you have disagreed with everything we have been saying, ṣé wọ́n ṣe nǹkan tí ṣe máa fi lérè lẹ́ni àti lọ́la? Because you must plan for the future, not just the immediate. As we are dealing with the immediate, because this government is telling me now, from this write-up, Timokai, Initi Katele, the lowest paid workers, I want to get the lowest. How do we bring them back up in the society in Nigeria? Many of you are not lazy. You want to survive, but the enabling environment is not allowing us to shine as people. It's literally holding us backwards. So, the lowest paid workers, we earn at least £11 an hour. That's about 10 pounds, 10,000 naira. So, 11,000 naira from next, as of today, let's say 10,000 naira is what. Don't compare it with Nigeria. It's a different country, different inflation. But I think that if we still have to look at the wealth that Nigeria have in terms of, since we have been told that he has money, I think we should be able to pay people 10,000 naira per hour, if not a little bit more. Abiodun likes to say they only govern themselves and their pocket. Okoya Mukibugbanyata and a group in Afalayan. Boosting the national living wage. Boosting. I left it at 1,000. Most if it's 200. I know it's 1,002, but I just left it at 1,000. So I expect you all, including myself, to be paid 11,000 naira per hour. Do you know that though, as at that time, that if you are paying that amount, everything will also have to mean that you might be paying high-end for certain things, government will then tax you. But some people do not get taxed, especially if you're low-end income. Tax is down, so nothing lost hospital, nothing take care of. All these should have worked in Nigeria under the regional government. Innovate sọ pé even if na 5,000 naira, pay us per hour. And you will see productivity. Like the man was saying there, inflation provide infrastructure. Those infrastructure should have been built about 30 years ago. Our machine maintenance. How many of you have seen the? I've not posted the video. This morning, there was a, while I was on my way out, I saw a road sweeper on drive, not using the ballet. This is going to boost the national living wage that is currently £10.42 an hour, and we see 2 million get pay rise. So the government knows how many people are low end income. Live a better life, but do only according to your quote according. Don't say because they've increased it to £11. Government do not expect people that are low end income, Lord, we Range Rover to mama some £500 a month. If you're gonna do that, why not fisher, why not add the same more extra body and buy, so that you can drive that beautiful car of your dream. That car, you don't have to pay. I think the Range Rover I saw was about £42,000. No, you don't have to pay that. All you should do is just have the good credit. If Nigeria was working with the great data, Egbomi, I have a question. Will Kwara be added to Yoruba Nation? Oh, yes, Kwara is part of Yoruba land. Nobody has ever disputed Kwara, regardless of whatever is happening in Kwara today. Nobody will dispute Kwara. What Kabe is not in it, but Kwara is Yoruba land. So Maberu is part of Yoruba land. Look, Yoruba Nation, why you go anything? Nigeria ma split. And I'll tell you why. Even the name Nigeria, we should change it. Well, minor thing. By the time we are in a system that works, there is a conflict between Catholic. I'm sure I will come and understand for the moment. There's a difference between Catholics and some other, Protestant and all this. I don't know how to put it anyway. So Jama wa láàrin wọn náà nílùú nígbà kan rí. But due to I don't want to use the word consultation. I want to use the word, I'm looking for another word. Education. Let me put it like that. Gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ oníṣẹ̀ṣe nǹkan kan yẹn, tension ebi àti ìyà òun ló ń fà. Ṣé ni tó ti lọ ṣiṣẹ́? Mo máa ń wá àwọn bèbí kan lórí TikTok. Mo mọ̀ tó máa ń test. Àwọn ọmọ China ni wọ́n máa ń test nǹkan kan. Bí a bí iná ni tó máa gbé kíní ẹ̀ sórí ẹ̀ bá ti tanná á jù síbẹ̀ yẹn. Nígbà tó bá busy tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní rántí gbogbo yẹn mọ́. Mùsùlùmí á máa ṣe tiẹ̀, Kristẹni á máa ṣe tiẹ̀, oníṣẹ̀ṣe á máa ṣe tiẹ̀. Ṣẹ́rí gbogbo ohun tó ṣe ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nílọrin yẹn today is got to do with poverty and education and enlightenment. But we cannot do enough of such if we do not have the control of the government. Àkọ́kọ́ gbọ́dọ̀ ní control government wa within the territory. Ó dá ẹ̀yin oníṣẹ̀ṣe kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan? Ẹ jókòó, ẹ jọ sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ̀yin Mùsùlùmí. But because we are living within Nigeria today, why Fulani be their king for Kwara? Well, that is as it is right now. There's nothing you can do to that. But when we have a country called Yoruba Nation, under that country, it was not going to be a Fulani king, or possible. And this is why we are saying to our kings, I mean, you heard what Oni of Ife, Ojaja II said today. Let Nigerians be patient. So we are talking about the long term. So again, all those are still minor things. Between the UK, between the UK and European countries that have lived together for 35 years, the union has broken. But what's in Barawonshe? So all these issues between what is currently taking place in Kwara State will be resolved amicably within the Yorubas. We will flourish. We will live side by side. Look, mo ní mo pàdé girl kan lórí bus níjọ́ Sunday ẹ mọ̀ tán pè ní atheist kò ní ẹ̀sìn kankan kò believe in anything ẹ jẹ́ kó lúkàlùkù ṣe tiẹ̀. Let's come back here again. Onoma boost to 2 million people. He has actually told people at the conference only workers are £9,000 a year better off than nígbà tí ìjọba wọn dé ní 2010 when his party rose to power. He claimed conservative náà ti pẹ́ lórí oyè nìyẹn o Labour lèmi bá nílùú yìí ní 1998 Tony Blair àwọn èèyàn nífẹ̀ẹ́ pa. Mr. Hunt added that 2 million people have been lifted from absolute poverty by removing the barriers to work and making work pay. Kíṣẹ́ lérè. That is what we are asking for. Monkey Princess Adufe. That is what everybody wants. You just want to survive. You just want to live. But at the end of the day, the current situation in Nigeria is not allowing such. He said, if you work hard, iṣẹ́ lógùn ṣẹ́. If you work hard, tó bá ṣiṣẹ́ dáadáa. Ọmọ tó bá ṣiṣẹ́ dédé, kí ló máa ń ṣe sí? Gbọ́dọ̀ jayé orí ẹ̀. But ẹ̀ ń jayé orí lẹ́nìí. But ẹ̀ níṣẹ́ náà. So bá lẹ ṣe bá èmi gan ti bá wá síbí báyìí. Ó yẹ kẹ́ máa wà concern pé tí bá jókòó ní 2 months tí mo ní kẹ́ fún mi lówó. Ó yẹ kẹ́yìn kan máa béèrè pé kí ni bọ̀bọ́ yìí ṣe gangan tó fi ń rówó. Tó bá ṣe pé ó ti mú nǹkan míì mọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation yìí. I'm serious. I mean, ó yẹ kíyàn lè rò náà pa bọ̀bọ́ tó béèrè owó lẹ́nujọ́ mẹ́ta àbí Jagaban àti ní kó gbé nǹkan fún Koiki náà. Koiki máa wá tọrọ owó lọ́wọ́ wa náà. Public ó máa rà wá la máa fún lówó. Ká má tí wàá sọ ẹ̀yìn tó kù. Ẹ ṣe fàájì. Níbo lẹ ti ń rówó tẹ fi ń ṣe fàájì yẹn? Is it a genuine money? Èmi ò mọ̀. Ask yourself. Ṣé iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe ni òun add extra? I'm talking about those on the ground now, not àwọn tó wà níta. Ṣé òun tọrọ owó lọ́wọ́ àwọn èèyàn níta ni tó dẹ̀ ń fún ẹ? Because tí bá fún yàn kan ní 20,000 naira lénìí nísìn, ṣé mo pé mo ti fún ẹ ní sálárì oṣù kan nìyẹn? Kò dẹ́ ṣe mi nìkan ló máa gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ, mo mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o. Tó bá gbà lọ́wọ́ mi, wàá tún lọ lọ́bì níbò mi. Tó bá lọ́bì, kódà o ti lówó jù èmi gan lọ. Gbogbo Twitter yẹn bá ń tà ní Tinubu ń ṣọmọ Yorùbá. Kọ́ mú ibi tó jẹ́ pé ń ṣọmọ Yorùbá, kọ́ mú yẹn jáde. I hope you get the message. So, we want you to work hard and drive big car. But ọlọ́pọ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ wá stop ẹ kó wá nítorí o drive big car. Nigerians love, Sherry, couldn't say Nigerians, ìran Yorùbá, we love ajaye kú ni. Bàbá tèmi jayé tó fi kú ni. Ẹ bèrè lọ́wọ́ Ebenezer Obey. That is who we are. A máa ń jà tá máa fi kú yìí, àgbàlagbà borí bàbá kan lórí bàbá àgbàlagbà tó ó sójà ni mo máa yẹn lọ ń jùdí síwájú ẹ̀ ó ní ó yá jókòó lórí ẹ̀. Bàbá àgbàlagbà nìyẹn o. Àbọ̀rọ̀ mi ò yẹ yín nísìn. Afẹ́fẹ́ ayé ni wá. Bẹ́lẹ́dùmarè ṣe dá wa nìyẹn. We are ìyẹn làwọn kan ṣe máa ní gbogbo tẹ́yìn ṣe àwọn kan gbọ́n kan tẹ́yìn ṣe fàájì ló ń ṣe. Because that is who we are. But by the time tí fàájì yẹn bá dé stage kan ní rí fàájì yẹn ṣe mọ́. Màá dẹ̀ sọ fún yín, a lot of us are still travelling for a very short quick boom. Mo ti sáré lọ Ìjẹ̀bú Òde, mo lọ ṣe party, mo ti sáré lọ Ìbàdàn. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá continue pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ bí Nàìjíríà ṣe ń lọ yìí ní lè ṣe àwọn kind of that trip mọ́. Ẹ fẹ́ ṣe party wàá kọ́ send owó sí yín ni ìtẹ́ bá ń ṣe ní agbègbè ibi tó bá wà nìkan ló máa bá wọn ṣe. Because if the situation of security is not looked into, if the situation of economy is not looked into, wàá pẹ́ lómi sí party aṣọ fẹ́ pọ̀ òun nílé wa. Things are changing. So ní UK náà, he said, and I quote, if you work hard, this government will always have your back. Ṣé tó bá ṣiṣẹ́ déédéé, gbọ́ mi dáadáa nísìn, innovate, mo nílé tí mò ń kọ́, àwa diaspora tẹ̀lé máa sustain fún yẹn, ó yá bá mi lọ ṣe glass ibẹ̀, àwa ò ní jẹ yín lówó, but ẹni tó wà Nàìjíríà ó máa jẹ lówó torí kò ní. Ó dẹ̀ fẹ́ move kúrò nínú ilé tó ń gbé because most of you wants to have your own house. Àwọn èèyàn eré táwọn èèyàn sá pé a fẹ́ kọ́lé ní Nàìjíríà mo rí rẹ́rìí láyé mi. You know why? Because there is no what we call housing support for layman. Kò ń ṣe gbogbo èèyàn ló gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́lé, eré tẹ̀ ń sá yẹn ti pọ̀ jù. I didn't know that until later. Lọ ṣàlàyé fún mi. When I went back home in 2015, within my family, I said, clear it and sorry bye. Wọ́n ní owó lè máa due ní next year. Mo ní bọ̀ next year ṣì jìn. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, next year ti dé tán. Màá tún sanwó lé fún landlord yìí. Landlord tó ṣe lé dáadáa yìí. Ẹ wo gbogbo lé bó ṣe rí tó ń rùn fìtìfìtì báyìí. So a lot of you wants to have your own small apartment. Ṣé mo pé láwọn ilé yẹn là ń rí nísìn tó wà ní. I pity a lot of diaspora. Mo pity yín. Ẹ lọ ń kọ́lé síbi tí kò sí development. Àwí ẹ má yẹ kí n lo language mo fẹ́ lò yẹn. Ṣé kò ń ṣe pé nǹkan míì. Ẹ lọ ń kọ́ ilé ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti gbé nílùú òyìnbó. Wọ́n wá náà bá ń rí ilẹ̀. There's nothing wrong. Èèyàn lè invest. Ẹ wá lọ kọ́ ilé síbi tí tó bá jí láàárọ̀. Ìwọ tó yẹ pé nínú iwájú ilé ẹ ní London, l'Amẹ́ríkà, níwọ̀n bá lé tó rán gbé, tó rent, tó manage. Ìjọba fẹ́ gbé ní big apartment. Wọ́n wá lọ jù ẹ́ sáàárín inú igbó. You get as a bill. I'm sure a lot of us understand what I'm saying. But lè blame ara wa náà. Ẹ mọ̀ tó sọ fún yín nígbà tẹ́ fẹ́ ra bẹ̀ yẹn. Alájà, ẹ máa wò yá yìí. 10 years nísìn gbogbo bẹ́ẹ̀ máa develop. Ibi tó rà sí so ti develop. Mo bẹ̀ ẹ má fi sínú comment ká má bàa mọ̀ pé ìlẹ̀ mò ń bá sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ máa sọ sínú ọkàn ara yín. Ìwọ tó ń gbé Nàìjíríà mọ̀ pé wọ́n dá kankan mọ̀. Inú igbó yẹn ló dá fún wọ. I hope you understand what I'm saying. You have lived your life in a place and you are told to come and live again in Nigeria, and you went and buy a property in a place that is never going to develop in the next 20 years. Okay, you have done everything yourself. So, you want to máa ṣe títì. Can you do the road to get títì ìjọba? Torí pé ó fẹ́ gbé níbẹ̀ yẹn. So, the problem is not one. We are talking about multiple problems. I am not talking about Fulani now. Multiple challenges that Nigerians are facing because the government, I'm not talking about this government, I'm talking about from 1999, I'm talking about from 1960, just before or prior to after the destruction of the regional government. Grandma Temi, call on phone Kenwon. When she was relocating back from Ibadan to Lagos, ilé Jákàndé yẹn ni wọ́rà tó gbé wọn sínú ẹ̀ ní phase 2 Ládéní Ìjàdèlé. Many people do not need to build a house. The government provide that services. And ilé pọ̀ lóríṣiríṣi, they will build the one that is going to contain 3 families, single. And that is why, if you remember, I told you that make sure you hold this government accountable so that you can live a small better life before the government leaves. I'm not saying you shouldn't love Tinubu. I'm going to bring the program down. I said, is it? But we've gone another 1 hour. So about the 3 hours. We'll monitor YouTube here. I'm going to bring it down because I still want to do another program today, if God's willing. I am still on this job. Iṣẹ́ lògùṣẹ́, òun ni wọ́n sọ fún wa. Ẹni bá ṣiṣẹ́ dédé, ó gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe fàájì. Who is going to stop you to do fàájì? Obìnrin mẹ́ta ló fẹ́ gbé ni tó bá ti lè manage. Problem ti ẹni ẹ̀ kò ṣe problem tèmi. Ó fẹ́ ra mọ́tò 20 ni. Ní bíbá à ń ra mọ́tò 20, à ní ra mọ́tò 5. Because for every car you park outside your car park, tó ń ṣe pé wọ́n ló ní ọgbà tó park ẹ̀ sí, you must pay road tax. You must pay MOT. You must service the car. If you want to have that kind of lifestyle, be ready to fund it. That is what the government is saying. He said, if you work hard, this government will always have your back. Can Nigeria government from the state to the federal, provide your backing because you want to work. Playing down tax cuts in your phone, the 2 million people that are in that low bracket, I want 2 million. I don't know if we have to calculate it in Nigeria, how many people will be there. Many sites now, 1 room, 1 parlor, uncompleted building. I want some bed missing on set. So, playing down tax cut, he hinted though measures will be imposed on benefit claimants. What do I mean by benefit claimants? Benefit claimants are people living in this country that have the legal right. Not everybody. Some people do not have access to public recourse. Phase 3 lengbe. Wọ́n ní gbogbo ẹ ti ṣe kíni. Ṣé gbogbo phase 3, phase 4 Ọlọ́run á kí orí wọlé. Ó yẹ kó ti buffle up. Not what they will have to do is they have to move everybody out. Wọ́n ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ní Stanford o, nílé kan níbẹ̀, wọ́n wó gbogbo bẹ̀, wọ́n dá wálẹ̀, wọ́n move everybody away. Nígbà tó dẹ̀ tọ́ntọ́ padà, wọ́n dá wọn padà síbẹ̀. Wọ́n sọ di top notch. Gbogbo phase 1, phase 2 yẹn kó ti dáwó, kó ti ṣe kíni, kó ti tukọ̀. But when money is being moved out of Nigeria, or when Lagos has to use that money to do that, that money has to be shared among all the other states as well. You can see why the suffering rollover is a rollover. They are not building those houses like they were building during Jakonde days. At least, in my time, my Tony secondary school in 1995. I lived with my grandma for 3 years before I moved to UK. But my uncle debe, with a bashi tap, the toilet at the bathroom, omi man yo, all of a sudden, omi yomo, along Pominisale. I don't know what the situation is. I'm not in that area. I haven't been there. The last time tomorrow, pandemic on journey phase 1 in a lot of Yatunta Malayan. Today, we're so excited, you know, we just want to have fun. But me, I don't know about anybody. After small fun, I come out with environment and what the F word. Can you go be by Shiri by? We go Thomas, we do, you know, we go Paco. Drive, Jeep Lonlo, Baga, Bogo, Baga, Boko Bele adugbo yẹn mọ́, big boy ní nísìn, Abuja ló wà báyìí, big boy gidi, bá dárúkọ ẹ̀ báyìí nísìn, wé máa lọ máa wá ní, big boy gidi. Mo ní máa sọ pé ó like KFC, tó bá dé láàárọ̀ ẹ̀, tí bá lọ pàdé ẹ̀ airport, mo gbọ́dọ̀ gbé KFC dání pàdé ẹ̀, mo mọ̀ tó wà àti KFC tọ́jọ́, you know, àwọn ń jẹ́ bó ṣe ń jẹ́ yìí, ayọ̀ mi lẹ́nu. Ibẹ̀ kan mo fẹ́ lò gangan. Mo ti sọ at least a little bit about the side of the paper here. Lunu Metro Teninio. I saw something that also caught up my eyes. 1929. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ ní 1929. Let's go to 1929. 1929, the year 1929. What happened there? A lot of things happened according to Wikipedia. So let me open that up a little bit. Before Kitowa mentioned Temi Rinibibai. I just want to give you true timeline. Mr. Koiki, you are in-house person. Nigeria, before the Yoruba nation, I move around straightly, you know, nobody will harass me, but I love Oshodi. Mo why? If I do Oshodi, I love Ikeja. You know, if I did Ikeja, always, you know, people they work hard, you know. It's a sweet place, Yoruba land. But problem to Pojumbe. Very, very sweet place. Very, very sweet. The one child they lot abroad. Man gbọ́ ọ̀kadà káàkiri. Mom see me say mo pe man gbọ́ ọ̀kadà káàkiri ni. Mo de sọ fún. Man gbọ́ ọ̀kadà ṣeré. Èmi ò like e mo. Ó risky gan, but man gbọ́ ọ̀kadà káàkiri ni. Kò sí bí da lè gbọ́ ọ̀kadà dé. Kò sí bí tí mo lè ní ọ̀kadà máa lọ. I hate the traffic too much in Nigeria. I hate the traffic. So I move a lot with Okada. gbede mo gbọ́kadà dọ́dọ̀ àbúrò mọ̀ sí mi jọ́kọ̀ owó mi látọjú window ẹ̀ báyìí big man ó ní mo ní mọ́tò wà ń bí báyìí mọ́tò ló wà náà gbà yìí kọ́kọ́rọ́ mo ní kó wá gbé mọ́tò the period tó máa fi wà ń lé look how you're stressing yourself lórí ọ̀kadà ó fẹ́ kó gbé ẹ ṣubú ó mọ̀ pé kíní máa ń gbé ẹ ṣubú ó máa ń gbé ẹ ṣubú tó bá gbé ẹ ṣubú wà kán lẹ́sẹ̀ àwa máa gbé lọ sí gbóbì àbí wà padà lọ sí London wà lọ treat ẹ̀ àwọn kó wa yẹn kẹrẹ nígbà táwọn secondary school a máa ń bẹ̀rù wọn ìgbà tí wọ́n uncle kò sí ọkàn everything wà okay o wọ́n ní kàn ṣe lórí ọ̀kadà mo ní bàtà àwọn Nigerians ń gò ìwọ mọ̀ pé ìwọ London ìwọ ti wà ní ìwọ máa fara wá ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà dẹ̀ and that's the fact. I'm sure some of you also have this kind of experience. You want to experience certain things in Nigeria, especially when you live, èmi come one by listen. I'm the only one in the house. Gbogbo tí mo ṣe mú láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ pé mo fi nǹkan kan ẹnu òun ni hot drink tí mo mú yẹn. It's 1 o'clock. Bí ṣe wọlé lánàá, wife mi ti prepare oúnjẹ fún mi mo ti jẹ. Oúnjẹ kúnnú kitchen, freezer, bámú, gbogbo ẹ̀ wà, internet. And I mean, as people that work from home, a lot of you are working from home as well. Anyway, we are still concerned. Our heart is there. Princess Okiche pet name. Whenever you hear the word princess, Princess Lori TikTok. The building was built in 1980s. Okay, yani Jakonde. Wow. What you pay there? Before I left Nigeria in 2003, still okay, but now messy. Mo de man rewa lọ́dọ̀ ìyá block 35 no beans mo man da ka je mo àwọn man tan koko fi sínú ọbẹ̀ gbogbo ele mi man da èmi mo ṣe kúrò láti Abẹ́òkúta Lagos State. I enjoy it. Anyway, let's come back to 1929 because there's something I want to pick up that has to do with Nigeria. Let me first ask this question. Let me see if people can help me because you help me as well, with the comments. Mokia Mixela Plan B, I'm going to put it this way. Do you think it is possible we rename Nigeria? Yes, it's possible. No, it is not possible. Just yes or no. I'll ask again. Ǹjẹ́ rò pé ó ṣeé ṣe kó change orúkọ yẹn Nigeria yẹn kó change orúkọ yẹn? I'm not saying break up now. I'm not using the word break up, okay? I'm not asking for just to change that name. Do you think it's possible? Yes or no? How many people is with me? Abdullah Ani, never. It's not possible. No. Grandma, happy birthday. You have a princess. I didn't pay. I won't no. Okay, GM to say yes. You know, walai, baba, wahala niyan. Okay, answer question me. Okay, princess no ni, I don't think it's possible. Yusuf Lori, Facebook ni no. Ganelo ede sọ pé no. D-Ray sọ pé no. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Ọláwálé náà sọ pé capital no. Alaja, náà sọ pé no. Okay. But ṣé mọ̀ pé it has been done before in the history. Sherry, this is why we are saying that nothing can be possible. Only tight me, only difficult for different reasons. Ṣé mọ̀ pé question to being. Let me just open unveil it quickly. According to today's in history, there's a lot of things that happen that Metro will talk about, in history. In 1929, the Kingdom of Serbs, Croatia, and Slovenia was renamed to Yugoslavia. You can see that. Nigerians are making it look like asking for what we are asking for is a crime. It is never a crime. It is just that we need to understand each other. I don't expect you to say, Koiki, oh yeah, break up Nigeria, may they go. No. That will be dumbfounded. It is possible to rename Nigeria. But who and those that are willing, do you think that they can do it? The question is no. They are not going to do it. But it is possible. Because history jẹ́ ká mọ̀ lẹ́ni ẹni 3rd of October 1929 pé ìlú kan wà. Now ẹ yẹ ká lọ wo ìlú tó ń sọ yẹn. Wọ́n pè ìlú kan ní Serbs. Àwọn ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀. Serbs are the South Slavic ethnic group. Ẹgbọ́n kan tó pè wọ́n. They are ethnic group, indigenous people, just like our no Igbo, Hausa, to the southeastern Europe, who share a common Serbian ancestry, culture, Mukia City Boy, history, and language. We are not sharing the same with Igbos. Neither are we sharing with the Hausas or the rest of the 300 and something ethnic group. So the question is, why this forcing us together and say we should live together when we can live separately, neighbors, and I'll still enjoy the culture of others? But people say, no, our unity is non-negotiable. And I'm thinking, really? Let's hold on to that. Let's go to, so the preliminary, the history and language, they preliminarily live in Serbia, Kosovo, Bosnia, Croatia. Croatia was also mentioned here. Croatia. I'm opening another one. Laptop man hold it so, but again, I have to close some few things. Kole move swiftly, dada. Ilu olonpe ni Croatia. The population, take note. Mokiyawa yetunde ekaboma. Page say it is not possible and it will never go well. Okay, let's now come back to why this country called Yugoslavia name was changed in 1929. And we are not talking about countries that were part of it. It is something that formed Nigeria. Kilo formed Nigeria, Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, and the other ones as well. But we are the majority. That is what formed Nigeria. So whatever formed Nigeria, is it possible to change it back? This is where we are having problems. This is where we are having, this misunderstanding with each other. Because people are seeing Nigeria from the perspective of the current state of things. And I said, okay, is it possible we change that name, Seth? And when I say change that name, that would mean that we go back to the regional government, literally what we got. So you don't want to go back to that. You want to stay in that Nigeria and you're expecting movement and development. How is it going to happen? But we are now talking about in 1929, October 3rd, precisely today, some years back, Nigeria has already been amalgamated. Taba calculate in 1929, your 1914 kuro nínú ẹ̀. That will be about 29, that's about 10 years gone here. 10 years after our own amalgamation. Àwọn kan rename orúkọ wọn. But even though that the name was renamed, let's first see those countries tó jáde nínú ibiba tó ń pè ní Yugoslavia. We've talked about the Serbs, Croatia, and there's another one called Slovenia. Onigel kan bèbí ni máa ń pè. Ọmọ ìlú yẹn ni tẹ́lẹ̀. No, ọmọ ìlú yẹn ni nígbà tó wà ní UK. Ó sì wà ní bíbá nísìn. Baby, I don't know. Ẹ má bèrè pé ilé ta ṣe ń pè ní baby, pàdé mi kan ló ń fẹ́ nígbà yẹn. Baby la máa ń pè. Ọmọ ìlú yẹn ni. Slovenia, a country in Central Europe, is known for its mountain, ski resort, lakes. On the Lake Blade, a glacier lake, ibẹ̀ máa ń tutù gidi bí ìyìnrìn gidi. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ìyá mi real Fatima sọ pé they don't have any cogent reason, just the name. Ẹni kí wọ́n jẹ dòdò àtẹ̀yìn. Ìyá ìyẹn máa dẹ́rù bà mí nínú ilé wa. Ó rè pọ́ gẹ̀dẹ̀ tí wọ́n ni. Kí n ti lè máa jẹ nísìnyí yẹn. Tí bá ti ṣe tán. Allah, tí bá ti ṣe tán nísìn. Èmi náà wá jẹ́ mo kàn ní post ẹ̀ sórí social media ni. Ká má ní wàhálà mi ti pọ̀ jù. Ẹ̀rí ǹdẹ́ èmi náà máa dín nísìn nìyẹn. Bọ́ mo gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ méjì. Wọ̀bìà nìyẹn, olè nìyẹn. Kí ló dé? Torí mo jẹ́ baálé ilé. Kíyàn wá jẹ méjì ro ilé. Wọ̀bìà nìyẹn. Ẹ̀yin aṣẹ̀ra ilé ní macro ni. Sorry. Ìwọ tó bá ń ṣe poultry business. Ó yẹ kí government lè support ẹ. So that kí ejò kó má máa jẹ ẹyin. Ejò máa ń like ẹyin. Baba wa Yola Mokinsa. So you can say that every day in this broadcast, into Bagbola Nokoloma Bolini, because I always have something to bring the conversation and your mind. You as a poultry business owner, as see Slovenia, I know we're going past almost 3 already because it's almost 3 hours. Tabakwara sí ibi tá ti sọ pé the job lẹ́ǹkan ẹni bá ṣe kíni ẹni bá ṣiṣẹ́ dédé ó gbọ́dọ̀ lásìkò tó máa gbádùn wàá gé àwọn bàbá tiwa Mercedes làwọn máa ń gùn on joke. Thank you so much, just reason. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ méjì £2 ni mò ń rà ní London ní kò yé mi rárá wàhálà ìtí pọ̀ jù ọ̀nà kò ṣàánú yàn. So they've literally damaged us, the set of people that wants to change us. Moki our units, Ladipo. And this is where we are today. So, Yami Grace, Olushoto, Emma Deruba mi. Bá ṣe tán nísìn, mo ní deep fire. Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ ṣe iná mi ò tí lọ. Ìyàwó mi tẹ̀ ní pé mo láti send owó náà sọ́hun. Torí orí internet ló ti máa ń san owó náà yẹn. So mo gbọ́dọ̀ send owó sí. If not, ó ti ní tó bá ti send ẹ̀ gbogbo ọ̀nà lọ́ máa lé. Inú ó máa kú ni. Tí ìbá ti fún ìyàwó mi lówó kó san owó náà yẹn. Everything shut down, even though we money internet kò ní ṣiṣẹ́. So let's leave that to distract you there. We're coming back into again 1929. Gbogbo population Slovenia. Oh yes, these are the people that have damaged us and they want to fix our problem. I'm talking about the politicians, regardless of whether they are the Northerner, the Yorubas, the Igbo, the Middle Belt. Look, as much as you would think that Benue State former governor here. Hey, Fulani don't kill us, Fulani don't kill us. It took all the vehicle. Ulokosi workshop. What's his name again? The former Benue State governor that I interviewed. Kilo Tenjeno. They are all the same. Paul Mishap, thank you so much. They are all the same. Former governor of Benue State. Enjoyment one in UK, but Ishelogun share. Gbogbo àná ní sẹ̀sẹ̀ orí dúró mo wà lánàá nígbà tó dé stage kan mo fi paper sílẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀ mi náà jókòó lẹ́ẹ̀ Autumn Samuel Autumn ẹ ṣé gan ni. So let's come back to the 1929. We've agreed that they can't change Nigeria the name, but can they change the system to work? Because when we now look at those countries that formed Yugoslavia, we're talking about 3 of them now. Let's focus on that now. Let's go back to Serbia. Let's look at the population of Serbia. Take note. The total, yes, Samuel Autumn, Benny, Eshigoni. The total population of Serbia today is 6.8 million. The total population. In 1929, Serbia was a part of the country that formed Yugoslavia. In case you don't know, now you know. Let's go to the next country. Slovenia. Slovenia, in 1929, 3rd of October, was part of the country that, let's not even use part of the country. The ethnic indigenous people formed what is called Yugoslavia, because about it's now all separate unit. No one is saying, look, because Yugoslavia, how many people know that Yugoslavia break up? How many people know that? Emma Paro. Lecture room ni te ba mo àwọn tó máa bá wa answer wa èmi náà mọ̀ mo ṣe ń béèrè. How many people know a country called Yugoslavia? Ibẹ̀ làwọn bàbá ọmọ bàbá tèmi ti kàwé. Long time ago, àwọn first born wa Yugoslavia. Ìlú yẹn dá bàjẹ́ bí àti ṣe mi ṣe gbọ́. Nígbà yẹn, how many people know that Yugoslavia was a country to break? Àwọn yo fẹ́ kárí note wọn. Àwọn yo fẹ́ kárí note wọn. Ẹ mọ̀ pé tí ó bá jíwèé wò, Yorùbá akọ́lọ̀ fọ́run kí ọ̀rẹ́ mi Gbénga. Ana yan ara iko egbo Yorùbá mi kíni ká gbé súnmọ́ bí bàjẹ́ nǹkan pin nǹkan tó nǹkan. Ìwọ pé ìwọ ló wọn kan bá bẹ́ kúta ni ìwọ gbọ́ Yorùbá jèbi lọ́nà. Gbogbo tán kọ yìí nísìn kò yó lówó ẹ̀. A ní ṣìṣe sùúrù náà. Ó ti ọmọ pa òní pẹ́ parí exam yìí súnmọ́ mi kí n rí nǹkan kan kí n kémi náà kọ̀ọ̀kan kí má tẹ̀ mú paper empty paper fún I'm not joking ọlọ́run mo jíwèé owó pa nínú Yorùbá àṣẹ Yorùbá yẹn ló wá dùn wá ìgbà tó fi kọ́ wa ní èmi tèmi lọ private school Yorùbá mélòó lẹ́ǹkan private school àwa là ń sanwó teacher ní private school primary school onward nursery and primary school ẹ máa kọ́ mi Yorùbá kọ́ àṣẹ Yorùbá yìí la máa wá nífẹ̀ẹ́ báyìí ẹ wò gbà tí mò ń sọ yẹn máa ń jíwèé wò ni súnmọ́ mi Gbénga kí ni number 1 ṣé ní àbí because ní gbogbo tó kọ yẹn mo understand it. I would love to see an exam sheet because mo kàn máa ń rántí gbá wọn á kọ Yorùbá yẹn kí ni ìtàn babaláwo àti Samuel Doe akọ gbogbo ẹ̀ ní Yorùbá wá tó kọ gbogbo question náà ní Yorùbá answer yẹn náà fẹ́ kó kọ́ ní Yorùbá tó dẹ̀ kọ Yorùbá yẹn dáadáa ọmọ Yorùbá kọ àṣẹ Yorùbá yẹn la ṣe máa pọ́n lé báyìí ẹ wò gbà tí mò ń sọ yẹn tó bá yẹ pé wọ́n ṣe ní mandatory gbogbo ọmọ tẹ́ bá ti ń gbé wá sí onward nursery and primary school even though private school ni ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́ wọn ní Yorùbá tó dẹ̀ pé èdè Yorùbá la fi ń kọ́ àwa kọ́ A for apple B for ball ìyàn kan ní that country split into 8 countries ìyẹn Yugoslavia ẹ wá wọlé ní nísìn àṣẹ Yorùbá yẹn la máa wá pọ́n lé báyìí bó tó bá yẹ pé we were in the regional government probability wà pé kí ìjọba ìjọ náà lọ́hùn kó ṣe ní mandatory mo máa sọ bí mi ṣe dé SS1 Yorùbá kọ́ Yorùbá mo gbàdánù ní Yorùbá no wọ́n ní no tún láti ṣe Yorùbá náà ni ọ̀nàdà àṣà àṣetà fi dé SS3 bí ṣe pàṣẹ mo kò yé mi mo yáwọn kí mo ṣe that's all I can say. Let's come back to the conversation. A ti sọ nípa Serbia ẹ má gbàgbé a ní gbogbo population wọn 6 million ó dà pé àwọn lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ pọ̀ jù nìyẹn a ní àwọn Slovenia gbogbo population wọn 2 million wọ́n di mélòó 8 million gbogbo population Croatia ká sọ pé 4 million is 3.8 million so tá bá ní 8 plus 4 that's 12 million. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi kan ní I drove through there from Munich to ẹ̀yin máa like driving gan ráwọn journey tèmi náà fi máa ṣe nígbà kan nìyẹn lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ akọ̀ hang olúmi pẹ̀lú Yorùbá nation báyìí ìgbà kò ní sẹ́yìn kankan tó mọ̀ mí irú ẹ̀gbọ́n yẹn nísìn tó máa ń lọ nísìn kò sẹ́ tó máa dá mọ̀ bébí bá drive nísìn Koiki Media kí ló wá débi báyìí ìyá mi kọ́ pọ̀tò ológun jáde Yorùbá was mandatory during we was ṣẹ́gbọ́ wọ́n ní Yorùbá was mandatory ẹ̀mọ̀ kémi ò tẹ̀ mọ̀ yẹn nísìn wọ́n sọ fún mi àwọn ọmọ mi wa tó mọ̀ dáadáa ni pé Yorùbá was a mandatory so instead mo ṣe wá lọ sábẹ́òkúta tí ọmọ Abẹ́òkúta wa tó ń rọ́bìṣì ni bọ̀bọ́ mi ọ̀pàdé mi ó ti kú nísìn kọ́lọ̀ fọ́ọ̀rùn kẹ Gbénga ọmọ Abẹ́òkúta ni bàbá ẹ̀ ní bookshop ní ẹ̀mọ̀ pé àwọn ọkọ̀ wọn láti ẹ̀mọ̀ pé public school òun lọ so wọ́n kọ́ wọn ní yàtọ̀ sí pé ó gbé lábẹ́òkúta ó gbọ́ Yorùbá nǹkan but ní public school tó lọ ẹ̀fẹ́ compare public àti àwa là ń sanwó teacher wa force mi kí n kọ́ Yorùbá ní private school níyà mi tó ń lọ tó ń bọ̀ tó ń sanwó ta máa ń fún teacher náà ní nǹkan pé for the fact pa ń sanwó owó bọgọyọ là ń sọ níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn ní onward nursery and primary school ní Surulere ìyá náà tún travel á lọ America á lọ gbogbo ẹ̀ á dé á package kan á kó fáwọn teacher ẹ̀ wá force Yorùbá láwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ lórí ẹ̀bùn pàǹpàǹ Yorùbá kọ́ Igweni, but we didn't know. So this is ìyẹn kan tó fún mi ní information one of my ex is from Slovenia àwọn yẹn máa mọ̀ nípa ìlú yẹn dáadáa nìyẹn. So what we are saying is that the whole population of these 3 units kò pé 15 million, but they are now separate. They are on their own. Presently, àwọn Croatia, they are running what they have their language called Croatian. Mo ti sọ lẹ́ǹkọ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n ni mo ní onward nursery and primary school onward nursery and primary ó sì wà mo ṣe rí nígbà tí mo lọ lé recently ní Surulere láti Kilo ẹ bá ti ń drive láti Kilo tẹ mo mọ bí gbogbo títì ẹ̀ ṣe rí nísìnyí kọ́lọ̀ máa ń dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ìyá wa kan ìyá ẹ̀ máa ń tọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ alájà ìjọ tí mo lọ sí Nàìjíríà kan tipẹ́tipẹ́ even after ti Yorùbá nation wọ́n pè mí nígbà kan mo mọ bó ṣe get náà wọ́n ṣàpè mí wọ́n wá mi títí ṣàdúrà títí ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ nìyá ẹ̀ máa ń tà ní junction ní Kilo junction yẹn hòtẹ́ẹ̀lì kan náà wà níbẹ̀ Ọlọ́run ti bà gbogbo hòtẹ́ẹ̀lì yẹn jẹ́ gbogbo yẹn ti wẹ̀ church kan sí mo mọ̀ bí ẹ ṣe church ẹ̀ ṣì wà ń bẹ̀ Baptist wà níbi edge yẹn èmi ọmọ Saint tẹ́lọ yẹn Saint Mary Saint Mary yẹn Abẹ́òkúta ní àbí very worse má ṣàkìlò àdúgbò àwọn ní drugs ni ẹ máa kí tó lọ dájà lẹ́ẹ̀ báyìí gbogbo ṣítà yẹn gbaná kankan ló ń tà níwò bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n ti bá nǹkan jẹ́ gan mo ṣeré o mo rí àwọn kan tó ń bínú ní Kòròdú wọ́n ní gbogbo àwọn ọmọ wọn ti mu kolos. There's a big problem that needs to be fixed, but we can't fix that problem in Nigeria. Argument that if you accept me as if say okay èèyàn ti Koiki Media. So the whole population, just to move swiftly, eti jẹ́ kí n pẹ́ nísìnyí kí n lọ dín dòdò kí n jẹ yín yàrá kí n lè ní strength àti padà wá. They move it to Fola. Èmi ò mọ gbogbo bí tẹ́ ń sọ yẹn o. Bẹ́ẹ̀ mi ṣe tán ní secondary school, ó lọ jù mí sí boarding house ni o. Ìgbà tí mo padà sí Nàìjíríà, tí mo padà sí Èkó gan. Wọ́n máa mú mi káàkiri ni o. Bí bá dé Nàìjíríà ní sanwó lọ máa mú mi káàkiri. Mo mọ bí anywhere. Bí ṣe wà báyìí. So I spend more time in Abeokuta than Lagos. Tó bá yẹ kí mo ṣe university ní Lagos ní sẹ́yìn. The only time tí mo mọ̀ kó máa ń ṣeré wá sí Lagos ní tá bá ń ṣe àwọn kò ń ṣe àwọn bíi club kan kìnnì kan union kìnnì kan tó máa ń ṣe. I can't remember now. Àṣírí wá láti Abẹ́òkúta àníjẹ́ kan mọ̀ ló still. So in the long run, what Nigerians should be asking is, are we better off? That is why I wanted to end the program, right now, because mo ti jẹun kankan látẹ̀kan. So and I'm really àwọn àrùn ọkùnrin tí ń sọ fún mi pé bàbá get lọ́jọ́ jọ kó fi gbélé sílẹ̀ má ṣe mí léṣe. So kó má di pé doctor màmá bí mi pé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀. Ilẹ̀ ti gbàgbé nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ nísìnyí. When we are saying that you don't want to break Nigeria, that's fine. The question you should have to solve is, are we better off together? What I'm putting on here, are we better off together? As one block, Momino. I'm not saying that we are not better off each other. Oh, the Sokpo wo lo dájọ́ ọmọ Igbo lọ. Into ọmọ aso ni ọmọ Igbo no ma sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ pé òun náà dájọ́ ẹ lọ. Oh, they saw the same thing for Hausa and the rest of the other ethnic groups. But we can live as neighbors just as Croatia, Slovenia, and Serbia are living side by side. At some point in 1929, they were all one block. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wò gbà wọ́n ní Yugoslavia break. Yugoslavia, the break. After the Allied, when did Yugoslavia break up? When Google ma lè ní. Kò tiẹ̀ tí pẹ́ ṣá. Ó yẹ kí wọ́n máa ṣe refresher ní gbogbo gbà. 1992. I was in GSS 2. GSS 2C. 2C. No. Yeah. SS1. Okay, but in SS1 mo lọ ní SS1A art class ni mo lọ. I was an art student. I need A and B. I need technical. I ní ìyẹn C, D, àwọn ọmọwé nìyẹn science. E, àwọn fine girl science. Ẹni tó mọ science ni wọ́n lọ ṣe science. F, science. Mẹ́fà náà ni àbí. A and B art class ó di méjì. Technical C, then science mẹ́ta ó di mẹ́fà. Ma imagine pé tó bá yẹ pé Yorùbá ló fi kọ́ gbogbo wa ní secondary school. Èyí tó fi sọ pé ó mọ physics, ó mọ biology. Tó bá mo máa ń gbọ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n kan mo máa tó ní platform yẹn lórí Twitter. Tó bá ń ṣe analysis animal ní Yorùbá. Ẹ̀wù bọ́lọ̀ ń ṣe kẹwàá. Yorùbá láwọn fi ń ṣe wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ ni. I'm sure some of you know the Twitter handle. Ẹ má bínú pé mo tún deviate there. A máa parí program yẹn náà láti lọ. Ó sọ̀rọ̀ bí ajá tó bá ń bára wọn sùn. Pé ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ try láti force láti yọ wọ́n. Ó wá ń ṣe analysis yẹn ní Yorùbá. Tó bá pa ní government tó jẹ́ Yorùbá. Ẹ imagine so many work tá máa ṣe ní research ní this ní in tó ń jẹ́ káwọn bàbá tí mo rí lánàá dádì yẹn in tó ń jẹ́ kó máa sunkún nìyẹn. Ẹ̀yàn kò sọ fún mi pé mo pàdé dádì kan lánàá. They are in their 80s. It's not for public. Èmi nìkan ni wọ́n ní òun lélẹ̀. Ìtọ́ gbélé mi lọ́wọ́ lélẹ̀. So what am I trying to say is that many of you ó dìgbà tẹ́ bá jókòó padà ọmọ Yorùbá mọ̀ bá sọ̀rọ̀ nísìnyí ẹ jẹ́ ká ro àròjinlẹ̀ a máa ní sátáláìtì tiwa àwa náà máa ní bí ẹ mọ̀ bẹ́ ṣe máa ń rí àwọn Russia tó bá jókòó India àtàwọn countries bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ tó máa send this kìíní lọ space shuttle lọ nígbà tẹ Elon Musk bá lè máa send the satellite lọ sókè Nàìjíríà ò lè send the satellite lọ sókè ní research center kò ń ṣe pé àláwọn engineer àwọn èèyàn mọ̀wé fọ́ lórí tó jọmọ Yorùbá èyí tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá dẹ̀ mọ̀ wánúdá lọ sí Russia ẹ lọ ṣe training ọdún méjì ẹ padà wá lọ sí nígbà tí mò ń ṣóyún lánàá gbogbo àwọn ọmọ ṣe nǹkan tẹ rí ní London Business School yẹn wọ́n bí wọ́n da kọ́ ṣe tán kọ́ jókòó sí UK ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Ṣẹ́gun Arówólò mú kí n sà TJ mú kí ẹ gbogbo àwọn ọmọ tẹ́ ń rí ní Malibon lánàá tí mò ń sọ pé London Business School tó bá ti kọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ yẹn tán kọ́ gọ́fìmẹ̀ntì wọn ló rán wọn wá kí ló máa ṣe wọ́n máa padà bàbá wa Taofeek ni Yorùbá is a country before the amalgamation of ẹ̀yẹn náà lásán fáwọn èèyàn wọn ní ìgbà yẹn wá ń kọ́ we can get out so Yugoslavia ó pín ní 1992 GSS2 lèmi wà nígbà tó pín filatera ilé máa wọ́n díẹ̀ o torí flower làwọn èèyàn máa ń fún wa ẹ ṣé gan ni sir thank you so much Mr. Arire Marco we love you thank you sir mo tẹ̀ tí mo fi fẹ́ gbowó ọ̀hún gan mo ṣáà kó ṣáà máa accumulate síbẹ̀ but we still need your support as our media and I've raised 1 million raise half of it I'm alright bí àwọn èèyàn that account details tẹ́lẹ̀ fowó sí ni if everybody is giving us at least gbogbo àwọn tó ti wo fídíò yẹn nígbà tí mo lọ wo numbers ẹ̀yìn tẹ̀ ti wo fídíò yẹn mo dẹ̀ ní gbogbo ẹni tó bá wo fídíò yẹn gbọ́dọ̀ fún wa lówó at least even if it's the smallest money just to support the work we are doing bí ẹ ti rántí money 566 people have watched that video in the last 2 days. We have to rush it because there was another program that I have to cover. But ẹni tó bá ti dáwó ẹ má sọ pé ti dáwó ẹ kò bá wa ẹ bèrè account number a fún yín ẹ fi support wa so that we can do more. I'm sure you will do that now. Ẹ tẹ́ bá wà ní UK ẹ bèrè account number. Tẹ́ bá lọ sórí website mi koikimedia.com ẹ rí details níbẹ̀ ẹ lè sanwó through Kofi. Tẹ́ bá wà ní ẹ máa fàdúrà ràn mí lọ́wọ́ that's okay èmi ni last man standing èmi ò lè bí kankan tó mò ń lọ ìjọkíjọ tó bá ti bọ́ sí but mo mọ̀ pé with our education with the push many Nigerians will start asking questions àwa fẹ́ kẹ́ máa béèrè question lọ́wọ́ àwọn olóṣèlú yẹn pé Koiki sọ báyìí kí ló dé tí àṣeyọrí ṣe nínú pé a fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ I mean you guys want to work. So kí ló dé tẹ́ ṣe fún yín ní opportunity yẹn. So Yugoslavia, it was also fundamentally inconsistent with what the US policy makers wanted to happen in the former Yugoslavia. Do you think that the American will want the same thing in Nigeria? Break this country, let everybody go their separate ways, and there will be peace. I don't know. Mumbo. A few minutes, when the question come over live. Just few minutes. So, anyway, I gotta go now. I'm low spare time. Don't say I might be no. So, just to close the conversation, thank you so much, everyone that have stayed with us. You know, we appreciate you. We love you. If you want to support, Sheffield by account number. Below me. Change pesita. You know, can support king pesita. Ti Nigeria, ẹ lè send us in error. Tó bá dẹ̀ pé fẹ́ ká lò náà ní bíbá yín ni. Ètò bá favor yín, mo lè fún yín. Ṣé ká pè síta. Àbí ẹ lọ mú fúnra yín. Mr. Peter sọ pé breaking Nigeria will mean every nation will have their own report card. Yeah. Report card yẹn mo rántí ẹ̀. Wọ́n ní ká pè síta. Report card yẹn la máa fún wa. Ẹ má yẹ kí n sọ result tèmi fún yín. Ẹ má yẹ pé máa di Tinubu lálẹ́ nísìn. So program. So in 1992, by January 1992, the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. Ìjọ́tí máa ṣẹlẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Nigeria, I'll be so happy. Even if I'm not going to come straight away. Mo like ajá tẹ́jú sí mi yo. ó ń ṣe bèbí ẹ ṣé gan ni Mr. Davis, thank you so much. Wọ́n ní kí n gbé account number yẹn síta ó dà màá mú síta nísìn. Let us just listen to the last part. Ní January 1992 ẹ bá mi sọ how many years ago nìyẹn January 19 ẹ̀yin tẹ́ mọ̀ mass further mass ẹ̀yin tẹ́ lè sáré calculate. Ní January 1992 àwa ń prepare fún election Abiola ẹ rántí kọ́lọ̀ fọ́run kẹ gbogbo àṣìṣe kó parẹ́ kó wà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. By January 1992 the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia ceased to exist, having dissolved into its constituent state. The word 31 years ago. Eshegoni, Mr. Solomon. Eshegoni, Princess. So 31 years ago, there is now what 1 in 8 anyone, but we just stick with Serbia, 6.8 million population. They are doing very well. I mean, within their little, you know, but I know the GDP Serbia is 63 billion as of 2021. GDP Slovenia, Slovenia, GDP Tijuana is about 61.7 million. No, 61.7 billion. Let me repeat that. GDP Serbia 63 billion. Kí lẹ rò pé GDP le Yorùbá máa jẹ́? It might take time with a lot of work. A máa ṣiṣẹ́ gidi, a máa ṣiṣẹ́ gbogbo wa, everybody will have a role to play. 63 billion. Slovenia 61 billion. Then the last country down low here is Croatia. GDP Croatia 68 billion. Where are you from? Irú béèrè wo nìyẹn? Ṣé mi lè bá sọ̀rọ̀ àbẹ́yàn on the comment section? Let me be where are you from? So, let us decide which one we want. We want Nigeria. We're going to try and fix it to work. Abi. We don't want Nigeria. We can make it to cease to exist anymore. O ma wá dìtàn. Ṣé mo pé gbogbo Yugoslavia ní sọ ti dìtàn. Àwọn èèyàn ọbẹ̀ ṣì ń exist because àwọn ló ní territory. The indigenous people. In that one here. Orúkọ yẹn máa change. Kò ní sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ Nigeria mọ́. Adé máa lo Yorùbá nation. Àní embassy, àní ambassador, àní owó tiwa, àní operation tiwa. Ẹni tó bá ṣe nínú ẹ̀ a máa bá lọ. Bílù iná ṣe ní problem. Mo tún gbọ́ níjọ́ Sunday, mo tètè gbọ́ yẹn. Wọ́n náà pọ̀ ọmọ kan ní North London, 16 years old. Crime wá káàkiri o. Wọ́n náà yẹn bọ́lẹ̀ nu mọ́tò àwọn méjì. Wọ́n tẹ̀ stab ẹ̀ kó ń ṣe nǹkan ni o. 16 years old. Picture mo ti uploaded. Ó wà lórí Twitter mi lẹ́yìn àti Instagram. But kò mí pé gbogbo kọ́lọ̀ máa kárí ikú náà ni. Ọmọ tó kú ní last week. Life continue lọ́sọ. But pain ẹ̀ máa wà lára àwọn family ẹ̀. But government máa tọ́jú family ẹ̀. Bye! Lóòótọ́ pain burúkú ni. Ọlọ́màjà sunkún ọmọ. Ìyẹn girl tó kú ní last week yẹn. But ó máa family yẹn. Ọrùn ìjọba lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó yé lóyè o. Òkú ìjọba ni o. Tó bá yẹ pé Nàìjíríà ń ṣiṣẹ́. Òkú ìjọba ni Mohbad o. Mo kàn fi yí ẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o. Tó bá yẹ pé bí tí Nàìjíríà ń ṣiṣẹ́. Òkú ìjọba ni Mohbad. Apart from the fact that he's a public figure. Òkú ìjọba ni. But Nigeria is not working and I wish you all the best. Mo mọ̀ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ kí n fi account details sílẹ̀. Ẹ lọ sórí website wa. And if you're serious about it, I will say you can find it. I'll leave it that way. I know a lot of you can find it, but if you're struggling to find it, let me know. My name is Olami Koike. A lot of you call me Koike Media. I'll come back probably later on, God's willing, but we are later. So, but for now, I have a lot of editing to do. Video tí mo ṣe, àwọn kékèké, mo ṣe fi ladies ní àwọn video mi kékèké kan tí mo ṣe tó wà lórí 4K mi, 4K camera mi, mo fẹ́ lọ extract it, and then also spend time to talk to you all. If you want to get hold of me, the number is the same, +44. Studio number is very stable, but we're working on a changeover with my phone today. So hopefully my other number that ends with 979 will be great. You can send a message through and say, Mr. Koiki, I need the donation. If you raise 1 million, the platform, and then if you raise 300,000, 200,000, kilo de, I want 1 million. èmi nìkan send account details me, ma send the sí. Thank you so much. Because àwọn tó bá ń yẹ náà mo ti sọ wọn pé tàbá ti raise owó à lè tọ́jú ẹ̀yin náà díẹ̀. It might just be once in a while, it might not be every time, but again, it is ethical that the media asks money so that we can run the operation of what we are doing. Routers was there, AFP was there. Those two individuals, I'm sure only God knows how much they are charging for the content. So it's about that. Thank you so much. Bye for now. Olayemi Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to our doorstep. Enjoy the rest of the lunchtime. And those of you that are at home, enjoy the rest of the day. God bless Yoruba land. Bye for now.